Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakah, double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Salute to the sincere Akim out there of the hopeful elect. All right? Yeah, man, you know, everybody's anticipating to see what's going to take place on November 1st when these SNAP benefits finally shut off, man. You know, that's given if the government doesn't shut down or get reinstated or they get work things out or whatever the hell may be, but which we praying they don't. We know a lot of our people depend on the government assistance, but a lot of our people are wicked, man. And this is part of the measures that the so-called white man is doing to bring forth chaos, because this is all chaos by design. At the end of the day, we understand this is a big psychological operation. This is a psyop move, another step forward to the so-called white man trying to implement his new world order. Setting up a martial law in these cities throughout the union, okay, and to get a reaction off of the people. All right, so this is all set up by design, okay. But a lot of you niggas, y'all gonna feel it, man. Y'all gonna feel it, and things are just gonna continue to get worse and worse as America is spiraling down the drain. Okay, so Brother Shemaiah said he got a scripture on deck. Bring out the scripture, first scripture.
All right, I got you right now. This is Jeremiah 15:5. Right. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem?
Yeah, for who shall have pity on thee, O Jerusalem? Who is Jerusalem? The 12 tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, North American Indians. Okay? Who's going to pity you? All right? People, they disdain you, man. The other nations. So-called white man has already expressed his hatred towards the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. But then you got the other nations that come over here. They hate you as well. They profit off of you by setting up businesses in your communities. And they treat you like shit in the whole process, especially when me and this brother was coming up, before, the gentrified era of, these ghetto communities where you niggas dwell at, right? With the Chinese man and his Chinese takeout spots, always had the thick bulletproof glass serving you through a fucking hole, a goddamn slot in the window, like you some fucking inmate locked up in the hole or in the box.
Greasy food on one napkin.
Right.
A thin ass napkin.
So they totally lack respect for you. They got hatred for you. They don't pity you niggas, man. Okay? They don't pity you, man. They come set up shop in your neighborhood and treat you like fucking criminals and animals, man. All right? We doing?
Yep. Jeremiah 15:5. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem, or who shall bemoan thee?
Yeah, who shall bemoan thee? Who's gonna feel sorry for you niggas, man? Okay? Trump is threatening to take away SNAP benefits from 42 million Americans. All right, which we know the majority of the people on the SNAP that's receiving them SNAP benefits are you Edomites, you so-called white people. But the so-called Negroes in America has been portrayed as the main recipients of the SNAP benefits or the welfare program. All right, we're like the poster child of that shit because that's what the so-called white man try to portray us as. Lazy niggas. That don't want to pull themselves up by the bootstrap and that'll just take whatever the fucking government give them. They're all about take, but not being but not doing anything productive for the country in which they live in or reside in. That's the image that they portray us to be. Okay, when really in all reality, as patriotic as you goddamn crackers claim to be, but y'all the main ones that are welfare recipients and ain't trying to do shit for yourselves. Y'all getting high on fucking drugs out there in them rural communities throughout America. Okay? With that Confederate flag out there in the fucking Appalachian Mountain, Bible Belt states deep in the goddamn South. But at the same time receiving government assistance, and blaming niggas for being a problem. When I say niggas, I'm talking about the so-called Negroes, okay, for being a problem with Americans, with the downfall of American society. Get the hell out of here, man. We hip to the game back here, man. Read on this more on that.
Who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest?
Yeah, who's going to be concerned with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans? The other nations don't give a damn about you, okay? You know, it pleases them to see you suffer, man. You know, to see you in need of their assistance, to see you beneath them, okay? And in servitude to them and having to depend on them, all right? You know, but a lot of you niggas, like the scriptures tell you, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And for you niggas out there putting your faith in the government, the most, and not in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, right? Which is who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. The Lord is going to do you niggas some fucking harm and some terror, okay? You know, when he bring forth the time of Jacob's trouble. Who is Jacob? Jacob is the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, all right? So you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans make up the 12 sons of Jacob, and trouble is coming unto you, man. Okay, so you know we sitting here spectating on what's going to take place come November 1st, man. Because a lot of you niggas all over social media and all over the internet popping shit about how y'all gonna be robbing and looting these fucking stores if you ain't got no funds in your EBT account.
Yeah, that's what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They want you to do that. They lay snares. That's a snare right there. They causing a situation so you can do some dumb shit and they can lock your goofy ass up, or fuck you up, or strangle you to fucking death. You know how Esau is, man.
Yep.
They ready to move on you niggas, man. Y'all niggas ain't see the play ahead of time. You know what I mean? Y'all don't see the bigger picture. This 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, all right? For we are not ignorant of his devices. Like we was explaining that at the end of camp. We already seen shit like this coming in the making. How it was strategically planned. You know, you had Donald Trump. You know, see, you got a lot of you niggas don't understand nothing, man. You know, with bipartisanship in America and how intense it's getting, man, between the Democratic and Republican parties, left wings and right wings, or you can say far right wing and far left wing. Okay, the political divide in this country. All right, and how Trump was aiming to deploy the National Guard at these different Democratic cities in America. You know, started out with Washington D.C., then he threatened Chicago, threatened New York City. You know, in which he deployed the National Guard. Okay, the military to make this to set up martial law and make this a police state. Okay. And these are cities where it's been reported that crime is going down, so there's really no need to deploy the National Guard in these different democratic cities, as they call it. Okay, but there's a concentration of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in these towns, man.
So we draining the swamps.
Right, you know. So most of the Negroes and Latinos in these communities are poor people, man. You know. A lot of them live in projects. A lot of them, you know, getting government assistance through HUD, Section 8, and this, that, and the third, and you know, receiving welfare benefits. You know, so to cut off that government assistance is going to certainly affect the Israelites in those liberal cities that he deployed the National Guard to. So all you niggas, especially the nigga woman, the big mouth fucking black woman, all right, popping all this shit on social media about how much looting and stealing and robbing she gonna do in these stores if she ain't got no fucking funds in her goddamn her SNAP benefit account or whatever. Okay, you gonna have the National Guard right there on deck, ready to fucking haul your ass into a concentration camp
and take your kids too.
Take your kids, or even worse, gun your fucking black ass down. You know, if you want to get too out of hand. Okay. So what's going down, man? I got a quick scripture, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease."
Scripture say, "Rise up, you women are at ease," because a long time the women been at ease economically here. Whether they're in school, got a career, or you got government programs from child support, Section 8, WIC, All these things, they pulling the rug from under you. All these things that made you so-called independent or talking shit, now they gonna turn on you because your whole thing was starting with the Rockefellers funded the women's liberation movement, basically to have them buck up so where they don't need a man. But now they about to now you played your role with breaking a family household up. Now they don't need you no more, so you gonna see how it is to be a man. You gonna start suffering how we suffer. You know what I mean? And it's happening with all the tribes and then all the nations too. And here in America. And the other areas gonna follow suit. Meaning world superpowers.
Right.
Because third world countries been feeling it. But y'all gonna see how it is, man. It's good. The playing field, y'all gonna be reduced back to what y'all was before. Because a lot of y'all have been at ease for a long time. Y'all pride, and y'all wasn't really suffering. You didn't have you was in the same situation as men.
Well, they been at ease through all the fucking government aid they've been getting.
Yeah.
Right? You know, having babies, using babies as a goddamn paycheck. You know, with the child support system. All right, marrying men and divorcing so they could take half of their fucking take half or more in alimony. Okay, and the government assistance that a lot of you bitches are getting, man. You know, we seen the movie. What's the movie called? What was it, Claudine?
Yeah.
Right, where the man had to leave the house.
And then they used to hide the shit that they had in there.
Yeah, or the man would be hiding somewhere and whatnot when the social worker comes by. You know, and that's how the black woman was able to to keep the government aid and the government benefits that she was getting. You know, so you black women have been at ease, man. You know, but the Lord is about to strip all of that away from you, man. You know. He's gonna do it through Nero, President Donald Trump.
Nero meaning he reincarnated because Nero was an emperor of the Roman Empire during the time of the main 12 feathers, the main 12 Roman emperors during the pagan Roman Empire.
Right, you gotta be spiritual to understand that.
Yeah, that's too high for you, but
reincarnation is real. It's biblical.
Yeah, re means back. Yep. And carnation means flesh, so back in the flesh.
Back in the flesh.
That's right.
So Nero was back in the flesh as Donald Trump.
Yep, just like we served slavery in ancient Egypt, Martezayim, Mizraim. Now we serve slavery here in spiritual Egypt, Babylon the Great, which is America. You know?
Right. Let me read on. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters.
Yeah, they careless, man. They move around, no cares in the world. Whether it's different times of the night, just doing reckless behavior, man. Go ahead.
Nah, hey, like the video we was just watching with the brother breaking his conservative brother. We ain't get the title of the video or catch his name, but he was basically showing you all of the different clips pulled from social media about the black woman sitting there talking about how much looting and robbing and stealing she gonna be doing if she don't receive them benefits November 1st.
I'm gonna get my brother a cousin.
Right.
You gonna start putting them in danger too.
But one of the things that stood out that he said is that you motherfuckers act like you entitled to all of this shit, man. You know?
Yeah.
You know? You had the Dominican nigga, Puerto Rican nigga, whatever he was, when they were showing the clip of the Jake in New York, sitting there like, come on, Donald Trump, don't do this to New York. Don't do this to New York, Donald Trump. Y'all the motherfuckers that put Donald Trump in office, man. A lot of you goddamn niggas and spicks was out there vouching for Trump, man. Yeah. You know? Y'all went in there on election day last year and cast a ballot for Donald Trump. Yep. You know, the scriptures tell you never trust thine enemies, man. You know? Woe unto you that go down to Egypt for help. You know?
The vengeance shall fail.
Yeah, the vengeance shall fail, right? It says that right here. Reading on, it says, many days and years shall ye be troubled.
It said many days and years, so you about to start suffering.
Right.
You wanted to be a man, now he gonna turn you into one. You gonna suffer like men have suffered. especially the Israelites.